Now let's focus on securing your load. Remember, proper securement means your article or articles of cargo will not move, either individually or as a whole. An article of cargo is defined as anything loaded on your trailer, whether it be a single piece of machinery or several dozen steel coils. It must all be secured. Because there aren't sides to help contain your load, your cargo must be tied down to prevent any movement. A tie-down restrains articles of cargo on the trailer and is attached to anchor points. An anchor point is the place where you attach the tie-down to the trailer or the article of cargo. Occasionally, in addition to using tie-downs, you may need to block your cargo as well. Blocking is used to prevent horizontal movement of your load. The blocking must be strong enough and also tall enough to prevent the cargo from movement. There are also minimum strength requirements regarding load securement. Two terms you'll need to know are working load limit and aggregate working load limit. The working load limit is the maximum amount of load or weight that can be applied to a securement device, or in other words, the maximum weight any single tie-down can secure. The aggregate working load limit is the total of the working load limits or restraining capacity of all the devices you use to secure an article of cargo. The aggregate working load limit must be at least 1/2 times the weight of the item or group of items you're securing. For example, if you have 40,000 pounds of cargo, the total strength of your securement devices must be a minimum of 20,000 pounds. 4 indirect tie-downs with working load limits of 5,000 pounds each would achieve the 20,000 pound minimum aggregate working load limit based on an article of cargo weighing 40,000 pounds. Tie-down manufacturers designate the working load limits for their products. So use the manufacturer's markings or use the tables in Section 393.108 of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations to determine the tie-down strength. If you don't know the working load limit, it would be best not to use it. The kind of tie-down you choose will depend on the type of load you need to secure, and it must be strong enough to hold your cargo in place. Your options include rope, straps, or chains. Rope can be made of natural fiber, man-made fiber, or wire. Natural fiber and man-made rope are most often used to secure tarps or as an additional tie-down method for loads secured with straps. Alone, it's simply not strong enough to secure heavier cargo. Although wire rope is very strong, it's difficult to attach to an anchor point and therefore isn't a very practical choice. Strapping includes web strapping, which is made of a synthetic material, and steel strapping, which is a flat band of metal. Web strapping is used in conjunction with a ratchet or winch type assembly, which increases the tension and eliminates any slack in the strap. Web straps are quite versatile. They're appropriate for different sizes and weights of loads and are relatively easy to use. The rated capacity of web strapping indicates the strength of load it can hold. Light load, 500 to 1,000 pounds. General duty loads, 1,000 to 5,000 pounds. And heavy loads, 5,000 to 10,000 pounds. Bear in mind that the sun and other elements will cause web strapping to deteriorate over time, so be sure to store it when not in use. Steel strapping is most often used to secure boxes or crates to pallets. But it's difficult to use as a tie-down because the driver has no way to adjust it if it loosens en route. And load vibration can cause steel strapping to snap. It's also sharp along the edge and can damage lightweight packaging such as cardboard, as well as pose a safety risk to you. So be careful whenever steel strapping is used.